This is The Fix.
So my name is Jennifer Lisson, and I'm president, founder, and CEO of what's called the WHIT Program. That's WHIT. It stands for Weekly Hands-On Independent Tutoring. And what we do is we provide free tutoring to foster children. Any child that is in the foster system or in a open CPS case that doesn't qualify for a 504 plan or any kind of learning disability, we want to help them catch up with their education. So that's what we're here for. Our mission is to make sure that every child in the state of Texas who's in the foster system and who is involved in a CPS case gets the help that they need with their education. As you guys know, education is really the key to adult success. If you don't have a high school diploma or even a college education nowadays, it's very hard to succeed in your adult life and excel. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that these kids don't stay frustrated in class. We want to help them get to a place where they can become gainfully employed when they're adults. We want to stop this cycle of not understanding the importance of education and how it affects your adult life. So we're hoping that with these children, that they'll understand the importance of it and go on and succeed, and then it'll be a trickle-down effect. They'll go on and their kids will succeed, and it will stop some of this foster to prison pipeline. You know, that's a saying that is very prominent in the foster world. It means that these kids that don't graduate, they just plan on them going to prison or taking up a life of crime. And you know what? We want to stop that. It's insane that this has become a norm when it's something that can be so simple as one person giving them the time it takes in class or out of class, which our tutors are after school, to just say, I care, and here's some organizational skills, and here's some time management skills, and here's 2 + 2, and we have some just amazing success stories from the kids that we've helped, and it makes my heart whole. I named it after my daughter, Whitney, who was unfortunately killed a little over 10 years ago by a drunk driver. I found myself really not knowing what to do with my life. I felt like it was kind of over, to be honest with you. And I happened about 7 years later to be watching a CASA commercial, and I told my husband, I said, I think that's what I need to do. I think that might be what makes a difference and makes my heart happy again. And he said, well, do it. So with being a CASA, I won the CASA Rookie Volunteer of the Year my first year of being a CASA. I loved it. It was exactly what my heart needed. But with this, I found that every single one of my children that I had was behind in their education, and I couldn't get them any help. The teachers were overwhelmed. Everybody was overwhelmed with time and too many kids. And I would come home and complain to my husband about how I can't find my kids' education help. And he said, Jennifer, I have heard you come home day after day frustrated with this. Why don't you just start something of your own? And I said, fine, I will. I was just mad enough and frustrated. Not mad, but just frustrated. And so I started my own, and I named it after my daughter, Whitney. She was a humanitarian and cared about kids, and I remember back then getting frustrated with how she'd be involved with all the troubled children. I'd think, just mind your own business. Needless to say, I've changed since then. She has really rubbed off on me, and I'm very fortunate that I found CASA. A couple years later, I was Volunteer of the Year through my work with the WHIT program, and we started out with helping 27 children just in San Angelo. And it was such a success with CPS that they went ahead and allowed us to expand throughout the state. We now have right around 300 kids that we helped, and with tutors, and we predominantly use honors program students to help these kids. We found that there's a huge connection, I think because of the age similarity, that they connect and they feel like they're cared about, and it's amazing what one person does. As you guys all know as CASAs, what it could be like and how it can change a child's life, just to know that somebody cares and gives you that little extra time that you're required to succeed. What we want to do is we want you to fill out a DFPS background check form that you can get on our website at whitprogram.org. That's WHIT. And you'll go on our website, it says become a tutor or refer a child. CASAs can't refer, but they can go to their CPS worker or community-based care worker, and they can just get in on our website. I'll tell you one great story. We're gonna call her Jane. Jane came to us very angry, feeling like she didn't need school, she couldn't play sports, she couldn't partake in any extracurricular anything because her grades were so bad. And let's face it, she was angry and she'd been moved from her regular school, so she had no plan. So we put her together with a tutor, Haley, and Haley, it took a couple sessions with her, and Jane warmed up to her. Well, not only did Jane be able to start playing sports, but she graduated high school. She also is going to Angelo State University. She's majoring in criminal justice, and she herself is becoming a WHIT tutor. I hope for the WHIT program is that we can touch every foster child that is lost in school or that needs that mentor when they're struggling and feel like they can't see their way out of the 5th grade or high school for that matter. We have them everywhere from K to 12, but I want them to know that there's hope. I want them to know that there's help. And I want all the CASAs to understand that there's help too, because that education is key to adult success is what it is.